Hello everyone, I'm Mike Watch, your watch enthusiast. Today, I want to talk to you about the Datejust watch released by VS Factory. Actually, Xiqin Factory has recently encountered some problems. It has been shut down. Therefore, there will be no more C Factory. So, please remember to be careful not to be scammed. VS Factory's workmanship is also quite good. For example, when C Factory is shipping normally, many watch enthusiasts or, more precisely, more professional enthusiasts are most concerned about the movement. VS Factory has used the Dandong 3-35 movement from the very beginning. On the other hand, Factory C initially used the Shanghai 3235 movement, which was later upgraded to achieve a 72-hour power reserve. Relatively speaking, the Dandong movement is more stable than the previous Shanghai 3235 movement. Its power reserve also reaches 72 hours. However, if compared, the Dandong 3-35 movement is more stable than the Shanghai movement. And it consistently boasts a 72-hour power reserve. Therefore, many watch enthusiasts appreciate the VS Factory Datejust. Recently, after C Factory encountered problems, you can take a look at the VS Factory Datejust. They seem to look down on VS Factory. This is not the case. VS Factory is a very large and powerful top-tier factory. For example, a long time ago, when VS Factory started producing Datejusts, there were also an factory and AR factory. VS Factory directly defeated an AR. Later, only VS Factory remained, and then C Factory unexpectedly rose to become a strong competitor. That's roughly the situation. Therefore, don't assume that VS Factory's products are of poor quality. Their products have always been of excellent quality. This includes VSF's Omega and Panerai models. They also participate in the production of many different models, including the VS Factory Yachtmaster that I'm recommending now. In addition, they have consistently produced Datejust watches, including the recently launched VSF Daytona with a custom-weighted rotor. They have it all. To make a long story short, let's discuss this VS Factory Datejust and see how its craftsmanship is. Let's maintain an objective perspective. Overall, this is a 41mm watch. The crystal is sapphire crystal, and it's high-transparency sapphire crystal. Furthermore, as I mentioned before with the C Factory Datejust, its edges are very rounded, right? Actually, the VS Factory also uses a rounded edge design, but when you touch it, it's not sharp. However, the C Factory's crystal edges are polished, making them even more rounded. But the edge of the VS Factory crystal is still not sharp to the touch, but you'll need a magnifying glass to see it clearly. With a magnifying glass, you'll find that the edge has also been chamfered. The C Factory's curvature is just slightly larger, that's about it. The difference is not visible to the naked eye. Can you see the difference by looking at it like this? Right, the entire case and bracelet are made of 9IFL stainless steel. You can choose between a Jubilee bracelet or an oyster bracelet. Included, you can take a look. The edges are polished. You can feel the chamfered edges. You can see this area. Right, polished edges. Including the edges of the strap, you can feel that they have all been rounded and polished. Including the clasp. You can feel all of these. We don't need to go into too much detail. Let me just tell you the differences between it and the C Factory watch. The main difference is the crystal. All other details are the same, including the serial number on the clasp, the K6G serial number. You can feel this serial number. I did a comparison review of the C Factory and VS Factory watches about 2 or 3 years ago. At that time, I mentioned that the engraving on the VS Factory clasp was clearer than that of the C Factory. Also, including the crown logo here, it has small dots on it. You can touch it because of the protective film. It's not very clear. The case back is solid. I'll open it later to show you this Dandong 3-35 movement. As for the rest of the front, let's take a look. The quality of a watch's craftsmanship is judged by the shine of its bezel. Right, you can feel that this bezel is the same as the C's. Tungsten steel bezel, platinum plated, made with high-quality materials. Generally, there will be no oxidation or fading issues. This will not happen. Neither VS nor C will have such problems. Then, at the 3 o'clock position is a 2.5x magnified date window. Everyone can see the date font as well, 53. The central axis of the hands is also a solid axis. You can feel it. Furthermore, this is a rounded, top hat-like watch. And this date window. You can feel the overall detail, including the hands. They are completely free of burrs. However, there may be some dust on the black dial, meaning it will be more noticeable if there is dust on the crystal, including the edges of the hands, right? VS is fine, really fine, and it's a bit cheaper than C. Next, let's talk about its adjustment method. This Dandong 3-35 movement has a 72-hour power reserve. The time is adjusted counterclockwise, and the date can be adjusted in the opposite direction. The functions are exactly the same as the C model. Unscrew the screw-down crown, wind the watch normally. Right, then drag it outwards once. This is to adjust the date. You can feel the difference in font size for each date. Right, they all use a small tail serif font. And the font size for each date, whether it's a single digit or two-digit number, remains consistent. You can feel the difference. Drag the pointer one more position, you can see the date changes. Counterclockwise rotation, the 3135 movement rotates clockwise, while the 3235 movement rotates counterclockwise. You can see the date change. Right, the date jumps instantly. Let me rotate it one more time so you can feel it. The date jump is very smooth, you can feel it. Right, instant date jump, and you can also adjust the date backwards. You can regarding adjusting the date backwards. I'm telling you, you can demonstrate it, you can use it, but don't use it so frequently. Personally, I think adjusting the date backwards might damage the movement. Sure, you just need to adjust it back. Then push it back. To the winding position, simultaneously push it inward and rotate it clockwise. That's it. Finally, I'll open the case back to let you see this Dandong 3 to 3.5 movement. This is the VS Factory's Dandong 3 to 3.5 movement. You can touch it. Actually, I've mentioned C Factory watches many times, including the C Factory's Datejust and VS's Yachtmaster and Submariner. 82 0006 27510 0006 35160. The most obvious difference between the Dandong movement and the C Factory Shanghai movement is this small gear. You can see that this small gear on the Dandong movement is on the right side. The small gear on the C Factory movement is on the left side. This is the most obvious difference. The structure is exactly the same. Includes kit-style shock absorbers, a dedicated adjuster, and the blue hairspring. Let me show you an angle so you can feel it. Right, you can see the blue hairspring from this position. You can touch and feel the entire structure, including its tungsten carbide engraving. Personally, I feel the engraving on the Dandong movement is clearer and more three-dimensional than that on the Shanghai movement. Aside from that, there are no other major differences. In this position, the entire movement structure is exactly the same, without any problems, except that in this position, it has a retainer, a 15-jewel retainer. But because of the solid case back, there is absolutely no problem. The adjustment method, direction, function, and power reserve are all exactly the same. This is the inside of the case back. You can see the fine engraving, just a quick look is enough, including its use of this new concentric brush texture with a sunburst pattern. Also, when winding, you can feel all the gears turning. This is a true one-piece movement. After unscrewing it, you can see that when winding, all the gears are actually turning. Then, after releasing it, it springs back. I find that interesting, right? When winding, all the gears are actually working. You can take a screenshot to see the entire movement structure and compare, including the engraving. I will show you at this location. Okay, that's about it. Let's feel it on my wrist. My wrist circumference is 16.5 centimeters. Wearing this 41mm Datejust is perfectly fine. You can clearly feel its presence. Moreover, its bezel has a particularly bright shine. I compared the C Factory Datejust with the VS, and the bezel brightness and luster are exactly the same. Moreover, it won't have oxidation or fading issues. This is a platinum-plated tungsten steel bezel. You can touch it yourselves. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.